Hey, Markham Woods Church family, Pastor Joe, lead pastor at Markham Woods Presbyterian Church, offering you a weekly video devotional. And as I'm driving in today, I'm wondering about what can I do? What can I share with you? And I passed a church on the way in, and they had a brand new sign they had just put out, and it said this. It said, "Welcome home Sunday." And so it was an advertisement for their church services going back to public worship on June 7th, which coincidentally is the same day we're choosing to go back to public worship. And as I saw that, I went, I had thought about doing something like that, and they sort of beat me to it. And now I feel bad if I put that out on our sign, like I'm stealing it from those guys. But I had been thinking about this whole welcome back, welcome home thing. And as I began to ponder that just a few minutes ago before I went to make this devotional, I thought, what is a homecoming? Really, what is it all about? And I think for some of us, we think about a homecoming, maybe our thoughts go back to the old Walton TV series. It's everybody coming home to that big table, and there's Grandma and Grandpa and Billy Bob, and everybody else is around the table, and it's like this homecoming event, and it feels and looks so good, right? I guess if you're younger, you might think of homecoming, you might think of Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man Homecoming, come back to a school event of some kind. But I think most of us, when we think about homecoming, it's something having to do with there's been an absence, and the homecoming is kind of a return. So I wanted to offer a question, just kind of we can think out loud right now. With our public worship set to open in June 7th, I wonder, what are you considering returning to, right? What are we returning to? Did we leave something behind all the way back to March when we quit meeting publicly? I thought about, there was Holy Week, but we had those services. There was Palm Sunday. Well, we celebrated Palm Sunday. We did it a little differently virtually, and even Easter, we tried to be really innovative. All of those things happened, if not differently, right? So I guess I get that, that when people refer to the church as their church home, there's a sense they're claiming that identity, but the campus isn't really our home, is it? I stay here a lot, but it's not really my home. The dictionary refers to a homecoming, right? Or a returning home. The definition is going back to a place you were earlier. I think Peter had something to say about that returning home in a spiritual sense. And as Pentecost is coming this Sunday, it made me think about that passage. And so in Acts, the second chapter of Acts, verse 17, while preaching, Peter's preaching, just following that outpouring of the Holy Spirit, here's what he says. He's quoting Joel. He says, "In the last days it shall be, God declares, that I'll pour out my Spirit upon all flesh. Your sons and daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions. Your old men shall dream dreams. Yea, and on my maidservants in those days I'll pour out my Spirit, and they shall prophesy. And I'll show the wonders above heavens." The passage goes on and on. And it made me begin to realize, at least for my own sense of trying to understand what homecoming really is, that the Christian walk of faith, right, a walking journey with Jesus, is, I guess, it's a forward movement, right? It's about moving in our faith, not necessarily a return that designates something as maybe going backward. So a return to public worship, especially after this coming Pentecost celebration, which will be this Sunday, it's not really about going back, is it, to an earlier time or an earlier place at all. Rather, I think it's stepping into the next season that God is calling all of us toward. When Joel is offering that vision, right? Joel's not looking backward, but offering a vision of something new, that something was was coming. And I think Peter's doing the same thing. He's saying, yeah, there's been some very significant things that have happened, but now God is doing something new, and it's being poured out, and it's offered to you. So as you prepare, along with the church staff and the worship teams, as you prepare to return back to public worship here at Markham Woods, I want to encourage you to maybe think about it as a time to look forward, not necessarily backward, right? Look forward to the community. We do that. Look forward to our friends and to that, the worship experience there's something so significant about being together in that way, that although virtual worship is helpful, there is something that's added when we are together in that way. But also, don't just look back or look for just the community, but look also for the season that God is calling you toward, right? Something new. It's a great opportunity to take a step forward in our faith, not just returning to a place, as the definition says, that we were earlier. So that's my little, I guess, a challenge to you as you prepare to come back, that we come back ready to move forward and ready to embrace something new God has for us. That can be really exciting, and I wonder what it will look like. We are going to be doing one type of return. The public worship will return, but we're also going to be returning to Israel. Just got word from Erez, our contact in Israel that guides us over there. Israel is opening back up, and so what we're hoping to do is to return this fall, the trip that was postponed. We're going to reinstitute that trip. If you're interested in going, there's a special meeting. Somebody's trying to call in right now for my special meeting. There's a special meeting that's going to take place. It's a Zoom meeting, and it's going to be on June 1st at 6 p.m. And Erez is going to do a Zoom meeting where he will be talking all about the trip and the different components and where we'll be going. If you're wondering about whether you want to go, when you finish watching this video, there'll be a link underneath it, and the link is to be used for that Zoom meeting on June 1st. And we have lots of spots available. I'll be going, and we're taking a nice group here from Markham Woods along with my buddy Leon over in Texas. We'll be doing this together. So I hope you'll check that out, and I do hope you'll envision what a return can also mean coming back to public worship. It's really a step forward. Blessings.